Welcome back, everybody, and today we are back here in the Flourishing Falls. That is the finalized title for this area, and as you can see, we've already made a bunch of developments, specifically 2 developments since the last episode, at least in this area. So let's go ahead and check them out. And if you want to skip to the main project of this episode, you can skip to that time right there at the bottom of the screen. You'll be able to see it. I can't because I am a wizard. I can't see it. It is 14 minutes and 25 seconds. Yes, that wasn't edited in. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the stuff that's happened since the last episode. So for starters, we have this stone generator here. Same design as the stone generator over here, but this one, we've got a stone generator up top and down at below. Actually, I think one of these blocks I can break to get inside. Is it this? It is this one. So down here, I did not leave a ton of space for viewing. So let's go ahead and go up here. Here's the top stone generator. Actually, might be able to see it from this side a little better. We've got this top stone generator here, and this bottom stone generator right down here. We can actually see this one. And it's the same generator design as over there. There's just 2 of them synced up to more quickly dispense stone. Now I have to figure out how I get out of here. And I go around. And that just means the stone comes in quicker than I can mine it. I can't get rid of this entire sheet before it comes out here. And as you can see, I've done at least a little bit of usage out of this, as much as I've needed it for so far. And it is just linked up to the same on-off switch over here, because it uses the same double pulse clock generation system as this one. It just has a signal that travels over there. Anyway, let's go ahead and... Oh hey, there's actually 3 developments over here. Wow. But this one is barely anything here. I've just moved all of the B setup to over here. So if I go ahead and hit this button right here, it's a work in progress, but we've got a honey farm. A little bit of honey there. Everything else is still currently getting collected at the back, just in these hoppers here. But the actual useful development, or at least fully functional development, that I also made between episodes is this sugarcane farm. Just a 3-level design. 2 wide as far as observer piston sugarcane farms go. I don't think this has an official technical name, but it's here and it produces sugarcane. Let's get to the more interesting stuff. Alright, here we are at the chasm where the actual developments have happened, and as you can see down there, we have a mob system going by the couple pixels of a zombie that just died, and one that's currently dying right now. Actually, that might be a skeleton. Maybe. Let's go ahead and head down and check it out up close, and I'll show you how it all works. And actually, before we take a look at the redstone, let's go ahead and look inside the actual mob farm itself. I've activated a Vanilla Tweaks Fulbright resource pack. I use this just to check for mob spawning. As you can see, red X is over there, means that creeper was able to spawn and will probably drop on my head if I don't kill him now. Go away, I don't want you. There we go. So with this resource pack, we can actually see inside the farm here. And as you can see, there are a bunch of trapdoors and then a piston in the center to allow for a 31 block wide spawning platform. So 15 on each side for the full signal length of redstone, as well as a piston just to kind of bridge things in the middle. So we don't have to have just a 15 wide. We can spread it out a little better. As you can see, we got plenty of mobs spawning in here because I've done a pretty good job of lighting up the caves nearby, and we won't have to worry about them. So let's go ahead and turn off this resource pack, and I'll show you the redstone. Here we are at the redstone. The lever just leads up this line to a repeater clock. Let's let's break some of this so we can actually see things. Can I make that jump? I can. So that just activates this observer and piston setup here to make this repeater clock go around. And then we use a binary counter of 4. So 2 states here, 2 states here. That ends up at 4. That's how binary works. And that ends up putting, I guess it's technically 8, isn't it? 2, 4, 8. Yeah. So it's a binary counter of 8 that activates this slime block downwards piston thing. There's words for these. I don't remember them. But anyway, that just puts the redstone blocks in front of these repeaters. This repeater goes to the... Can I break this? I can't. Goes to a piece of redstone that activates that piston in the middle, and then it also branches out to those 15 long redstone chains. And that is the entirety of the redstone for the system. It's just tiled downwards. And so it is quite simple to reconstruct, and it'll probably be... Actually, I probably won't ever edit this farm. I'll just turn it off at some point once I get an actual mob farm going, or an actual industrial mob farm going. This is just to get me started. And if we want, we can jump down here. I did not test that jump beforehand. To look at the very rudimentary storage that I have set up. And this has been running for probably about a day, or a day of playing at least. And so we already have 2 full chests here, working up towards the 3rd now. So for everything I need it for, this is plenty. Hello, creeper. And then a minecart hopper, single minecart hopper, comes and picks everything up. Just goes back and forth, as it should. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at more stuff that may or may not be more interesting than a mob farm. Okay, we were over there, and then we came up here, and now we're up at the iron farm. This is a super compact design that I made, and it produces iron like nobody's business. This isn't the full extent of the iron. That is right over here. We have some temporary storage, a storage solution is what I'm calling this area. And here is the actual iron production that we've made since the last episode. Quite a bit. And then I also just have bulk storage over here. And right over there is lava storage, because I've used a ton of iron to make buckets to drain a couple of lava lakes that were in here. So all of these are just filled up with buckets of lava, because this right here used to be a lava lake, and over there we can see that waterfall at my crosshair. That was also a lava lake. And so if I ever need lava, this will be the place to go for it, at least for a little while. And now the next place we're going is the village, where I've done some building. Alright, over at the village here, you can see I've done some very fancy, very unfinished gravel pathways here, as well as some staircases to get around. And I think the main development here, actually, all we had last time was this building, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure this here is new. So we have a wooden barracks here for just a handful of villagers. It's a good thing that everyone's going to sleep, so they're not going to be in my way. We've got a farm situation set up down there. Clearly the villagers are not good at keeping the crops alive. This is just the house we had before. I give it a basement, or a couple of basements, I guess. But the main area I spend most of my time for the village here is down here. So in here, we have our village trading center. On the left wing here, we have a bunch of librarians, all with glass trades, the 4 glass per 1 emerald trade, as well as a bunch of super helpful enchantment books that help me get swords like this. a fully enchanted particle splitter sword here. And this has helped me gear up to get everything I need as far as armor goes. Some pretty good boots as well, and a hopefully permanent helmet that will definitely not break by accident. Anyway, on the right here we have cartographers that have been zombified and then cured so that they will buy 6 or 5 glass panes for 1 emerald each, I believe is the trade. And so with that, we can increase the amount of emeralds. We can get emeralds for free, basically. It's a somewhat well-known glass trading exploit with librarians and cartographers. And that is basically what my main XP source has been so far for the 390 days? 590 days that I've been playing in this world. And of course I have more unfinished barracks here that will hopefully be finished by the next episode as well. And then finally we have down in this space here, which is a villager curing station. So if I have any zombie villagers, I get them to follow me into this area here. I just jump over one of the trapdoors, they'll fall down, and then that will close the trapdoor and lock them in, and then I can just go through here. As you can see, that would be what happens when there's a zombie up there. And then once they're cured, I can just let them free and they'll wander out to the main village where there's beds and workstations for them to be attracted to. And over here is the giant map project that I've started. This is a 30 by 31 wall, I believe, if I counted right. And all of these maps and all of these item frames had to be sourced from the trading with the villagers there, because of course I can't get cows down here because the sun is a myth. There is no surface. There's only the underground where there are no cows. And even if I tried to set up a passive mob farm down here, I think too many passive mobs would have been spawned on the clearly non-existent surface that I wouldn't be able to get any spawns down here. So this was my best bet for getting maps, or item frames, and then maps as well for just not having the access to a witch farm to get all the compasses. So let's go ahead and pillar up on my redstone and check out what we have for a map so far. So down here, Route 1 is the exit of that tunnel. There's a giant sprawling cave that goes from here. I think it goes both down this way as well as out to somewhere over here, I think. It's a very long cave. And then Route 2 up here also goes from here to there, and then there's another cave that connects, I think, up towards that way. We'll be using next episode when we go to the center of the map. But in between, we have the chasm where we are right now, the groove where we started, and I guess I'll use chests now, the flourishing falls where we started this episode. And this is everything, everywhere we've been, at least underground so far. And hopefully we'll be able to maybe complete this map next episode, or at least I'm going to aim for a 5th of this map wall next episode, because I still want to leave at least some things in the north unloaded, just in case we get some updates relevant to those. The aim for next episode will be get to the center of the map and then fill out probably this area of the map. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on the actual part of this episode that you clicked for, the potion brewery area. The brewery, that's what it's called. I'll see you over there. Okay, here we are in the passage between the groove and flourishing falls, right off that way. We have the beginnings of an entrance to the brewery. And I wanted to make this path a zigzag just because I didn't know where the exact center of the room would be. And here we are in this small area I've cleared out to house the initial concept of the brewery design. Now for this design here, it is currently just set up on levers, But the idea is the brewing stands will only brew one stage of each potion. So this one is currently brewing awkward potions. Then this one is brewing up fire resistance level 1. And then this one is doing the duration increase from redstone. And then we'll have the final output, probably to a chest actually. Let's plop these chests in the chest. And once each stage is brewed, we will drain them into the hoppers below. That'll go into the next dropper for the stage. We'll lock the hoppers again, and then pull this lever 3 times. And then I also have to pull this lever just because I initially set up the water to be incoming from above, but I'm going to change it so that it comes in from below. But then that will allow all of the previous stages of the potion to fall into the next brewing stand and then end up in this chest in the end. So let's go ahead and drain it one more time, lock it again, 1, 2, 3, and then this one because I'm an idiot, and then that will prepare the next stage of potions. And the reason I want to do potions individually by stage is so that I can take the regular fire resistance potions and say take some glowstone dust and turn them into level 2s instead of longer resistance. Actually, I don't think there is a level 2 for fire resistance. But say I'm doing strength potions, so that'd be blaze powder. That'll allow me to make different potions that aren't necessarily part of the systems I install into this room, and that'll allow for a little greater flexibility with the potions I make. Plus, the redstone for this is just a whole ton easier. But that's enough talk about the redstone here. Let's go ahead and talk about planning and what will be inside of this room as I back out slowly and end up in the redstone testing world. Press F1 and it'll be a little seamless transition. Wow, that was seamless. And now I'm in the redstone testing world, like movie magic. And as you can see in front of me, I have a wall of potion recipes, and here we're going to figure out which ones we're going to include and which ones are not going to be included in the final room. So for starters, we already know that the fire resistant potions are already included. I have the ingredients to do that, so that'll definitely be a yes on the will I brew it. Strength potions, I'm already using blaze powder to get the magma cream, so that should be an easy yes as well. Now I do have sugar from the sugarcane wall, so I'll be able to get the swiftness potions. The slowness potions will be a little more difficult to do because that requires spider eyes, which I do have a farm for, sugar, which is already part of the recipe, and brown mushrooms are going to be the kicker. So I'll have to build a farm for that, but I think it's perfectly doable. But we'll say we'll hold that on a maybe, because swiftness potions and slowness potions are not super useful, but they're definitely worth having. Next up is regeneration potions, and currently I do not have a good way to get gas tiers, but I think I will leave a slot open for them, so we'll actually say that's also a maybe. Because I do have a hole in the nether roof now, and I will possibly be able to set up a ghast farm up there before I set up an official ghast farm elsewhere. Now additionally, pufferfish are pretty difficult to get, so actually I think that's also going to be a maybe as well. I can fish them, but that's pretty impractical as far as things go there. Next up would be slow falling potions, and phantoms don't exist because the sky doesn't exist. The sun is not there. That's an illusion. Yeah, there's also not a moon just over the horizon there, peeking over. That's not there either. So we'll say slow falling is definitely not going to be made. Additionally, there's no such thing as an ocean, so no turtles. There's no such thing as rabbits either, because those are passive mobs that don't spawn underground. Now I can do potions of poison and potions of harming as well, so we'll say those are a potion we will do. Next up, golden carrots. We can only get these... No, we can make a carrot farm. So we can easily do night vision potions, and we just inverse those with the spider eye to get invisibility potions, so we'll see, we'll do those. I have not yet found any melons. I think I can find melon seeds in an abandoned mine shaft, so those may be doable, but I think I'm going to save those for a final official potion farm, or potion brewery, and I think I'm actually going to go back and say that's going to be the case for the regeneration potions as well. And then finally, there's the weakness potions, which is a definite yes, because we'll be making spider eye or fermented spider eyes for all of these others. Plus, they're super useful in terms of villager curing. So let's get the augmentation items. So that's going to be gunpowder, glowstone, dust, and redstone as well. Pretty sure that's everything. There's no way we're getting Dragon's Breath before the wild update, because that would require heading to the surface to be able to track the Eyes of Ender, so that won't be happening. Let's go ahead and check out the green ones here, the ones we will be doing, and see if we want to change any of those. So let's get a brewing stand to double check things. So redstone adds time, glowstone adds duration, and gunpowder adds splashability. So obviously for fire resistance we want time, because there's no such thing as fire resistance 2. This one is strength, and I think it'll be more important to have the second level of strength to do that. As far as the maybes are concerned, this is swiftness and this is water breathing. For water breathing, time is more important, and for swiftness, is there a swiftness 2? There is. Speed 2. If I am doing anything that I think swiftness is required, I think 2 is definitely the way to go. Let's see, the next one is poison and harming, and I think for both of these, stronger is better, and there is longer poison, I think, but it isn't as effective, if I recall. Wait, yeah, that's how that works. Yeah, because you can't do longer and level 2. You have to choose either or. And then finally we have, oh well, actually there's 2 finallys. So for night vision, I don't think there's a second level, and that would be the same for invisibility, so we have to go for duration there. Also, for the poison here, we don't want to use it on ourselves, so we'll put gunpowder at the bottom. And for these other ones, we'll keep them for ourselves so those won't get splash. Okay, the actual finally here would be this is weakness. We don't actually care, we just want it to be splash potion so we can apply it to villagers. And that's it. That's going to be our entire potion setup that we'll have to do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potions. 5, really? Yep, that's 5. And then 6, 7 for maybe going to do. I'll see what fits in the room, and if there's extra space we'll include them. If not, or if we have to add space, I will include them. So if there is extra space, or we're adding space in anyway, we'll include these. But we'll stick with these 5 for now, and I will see you back in the perfectly transitioned potion lab again, where I've already done resource gathering, because that takes a while. Wow, seamless transition. We're back in the world log here, and I've already set up a lot of the potion lab. We've got the main clock circuitry all done, and it's ready to get hooked up to that module we have there. I decided just to leave this one in place And it also looks like for the other modules, we won't need to build any room out, other than some minor nooks and crannies for weird wiring, but I already intended to dig down for stuff for that. So we're going to stick with all of the base potions that we had emerald blocks under, and then the other ones we'll just save for the final, or the next potion lab that we build in the world. So we'll just have the fire resistance where it is, we'll have the strength here, then we'll have the harming and poison setup over here. This is going to be a little more complicated to do. Then right here we're going to have the night vision line, and then finally we're going to have weakness right close to the door, because I think weakness and fire resistance are going to be the most used of all of the potions we brew here. So let's go ahead and hook up the last bits of redstone to the fire resistance here, and we should see if it works. Or we will be able to see if it works. Let's try and get both in shot here. And whenever it's ready, here we go. Pulse goes through. We should get 3 bottles in each, which looks to be the case. I also did a whole bunch of blaze farming in the background between clips. And now we got it all brewed. You heard that piston in the background, and that means we're ready to cycle to the next one. And that clock is perfectly timed. So if you want to copy the redstone here, it's not very good, but it functions the way it needs to. So here we got an etho hopper clock, just kind of built into the wall right there, with 32 items, I do believe. Yep, 32 items. Then this piston gets activated going into this observer. That is what pulses the start of the clock sequence, or the activation sequence. So that'll send out a signal into this pulse extender, which will go both this way and that way, just through, there's a repeater underneath this block, right there. So the pulse extender will drain the brewing stands, and then once the pulse extender runs out from this point here, this redstone torch will turn back on, activating this observer going into these 2 pistons, going into observers going back towards this way, and then also observers going out towards that way. And then there's just a bunch of spaghetti redstone going off in their respective directions, so one going that way and one going that way off of this one. So all pretty simple redstone. I could have compacted this way more probably, but for what I need it for, and for the footprint, it actually worked out pretty well, so I'll take it. But anyway, as you can see, we're filling up this chest here. I believe I moved the other fire resistance here. And what we don't have so far is a way to read when everything is full here. So hopefully we can get this this next machine that's going to go right here done before we do that. And then hopefully after that we can get the detecting mechanism off of both of them. But I wanted to build one of these designs on camera anyway, so let's go ahead and get on to that. So it's all pretty simple if I can remember what I'm doing. So for the top row, we're just going to have blocks and slabs spaced out like so. Like that. Redstone on top, and I believe these just go straight forward off of these. We can do redstone like so. Now on the bottom here, let's see if I can remember how this connects. Okay, so the top, how does the top connect? Okay, that's how. So the top connects through here, and the bottom connects through this redstone torch, and that's pulled from the, I think this is the long, yeah, this is the long pulse from the pulse extender. So the pulse extender signal goes into this block, into that redstone here. You can see everything's on now. I should probably just break that for now. And then we need this to go underneath. Yeah. So this will go underneath. 1, 2, 3. 2 redstone right there. And we'll have a block in all of these gaps here. And then we'll keep bridging that redstone underneath. Final bits there. Then on top of these divots, you put blocks, and that is all of the redstone specific bits. I mean, minus that piece. Actually, yeah, we can put that there now that everything's blocked up. So now we want our hoppers and our droppers and our chests and our barrels. And since this is mirrored, we can just start from this side, so I don't have to think too much. So at the end there, we just want a dispenser going up, and then we're going to have our chests face inwards, so we're going to do chests like that. And then this is all a very easy chain. Did I put away... I did. I did put away the brewing stands. Alright. So from that hopper, or that dropper, we put a hopper, brewing stand, dropper, hopper, brewing stand, dropper, hopper, brewing stand, dropper, and then from here we're going to have hoppers in these gaps like so. And that is the main brewing chain done. Now finally what we're going to want to do is put hoppers in the back to put in the blaze powder that'll go in this slot here, and then on top we're going to want to put hoppers on top of all of these with chests, and it looks like I'm about to run out of wood here, unfortunately. But the chests go there, and then we have barrels on top of these. You know what, we'll just steal this for demonstration purposes. I'll have to put that back later. And there we go. That is the entire brewing system done, minus the water bottle input. But for the water bottle input, I may just replace these chests with hoppers that go into the ceiling, and then I'll have a train kind of going around the top. I've been to a sweets shop that had like a model train that went around carrying candy, and I think that's kind of what I want to emulate there. So we'll be able to see that in the next clip once I get that done. So we'll try and match cut this here into the final potion brewing area. And here we are. As you can see, we've got the entire room done now. We've got the floors all finished up, no holes to fall into. We've got all 4 walls, and we've got a couple of nether wart stations here, just so I can manually farm these up. We do have a little bit that's unfinished, such as the minecart loader up there. So that minecart will go around to each of the 4 or 5 hoppers and drop off potion or water bottles into those, but we don't actually have a system to fill that up just yet. I'm going to put that right here where these chests are, but for now I'm just going to be manually placing items into the hoppers until I get the ingredients all farmed up and filled into the different brewing stands. Because as it is, if we run out of an ingredient, we'll start brewing potions that we don't really care about, like splash potions or splash awkward potions, which yeah, they don't do much and they're not really useful for me, so those will just get tossed out probably. So we want to wait until we have all the ingredients, until we activate the farm. And then to make sure that we deactivate it before we run out of ingredients, actually I'm going to go, where should I enter this? I'll go from over here. We have the full capacity detection system that I meant to show off in the last clip, but now we have it here. Now this is currently untested, but right underneath this slab here is the output chest. Where'd my slab go? There it is. And then through this block, this comparator will read the capacity and then subtract away the capacity from this barrel, and then that will output into this redstone torch here. And then when it gets a full signal, let's see if I can get both in camera. There we go. So if I press this button, you will be able to see the torch turn off. There we go. So that button simulates the chest being full. And then when it is full, this redstone torch will turn on, making sure that the hopper drainage line is always powered, which means every brewing stand keeps the potion that is currently inside of it. And that should prevent any unnecessary or unwanted, how do I get out, potion movement. And that should do it for this potion lab after I get that water system and all the ingredients in. So now what we're going to do is take some of our potions and fight the Wither, because between episodes I went ahead and set up the beginnings of a Wither skeleton farm. Currently it's just a platform in the Nether, but because of how the area generated in, it's been quite efficient. And actually in my ender chest here I have 3 more Wither skeleton skulls. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a place to do the Wither fight. I think we'll be doing it deep underground, because I think the deep slate has somewhat of a resistance to the Wither shots, and hopefully that'll keep them in place. So I'll see you, well, we're already underground, but even more underground. Alright, I am way north of the groove, so the groove's going to be in that way, or in that direction, and this is the way we're heading. And I've just got this bed and ender chest set up over here, so we have all of our stuff at easy access. And hopefully we can take this down in one shot. I've never actually tried fighting the Wither in this way. I know some people will put an iron golem with the Wither at the end to take care of most of the attacking. But I've got a Smite 4 axe and a super powerful sword. And that's about it. But now I think I'm going to try and do that kind of cheese tactic that some people do in the end to fight the Wither, where you put its head in the ceiling, and hopefully that gives it at least a little bit of chip damage at the beginning. Either that or the initial explosion is just going to break the ceiling and it's going to fall apart. So we'll find out when we test it. I feel like I should make a backup or something, but I'm probably fine. Let's drink our potion first, just in case we run into any lava lakes. And here we go. Just gonna stand back. Should I get this in my offhand? I might as well eat all the way up. Actually, these are all my carrots. That might be a problem. Oh, he's going up. I have no way to deal with the Wither effect. Actually, I'm taking him down super duper fast. This is super easy. I mean, barely an inconvenience in the slightest. That was absolutely the easiest Wither fight I've ever done. Wow. Oh, and I got one of the Wither heads. If I didn't mention it in the last episode, we actually have some data packs installed. Yep, vanilla tweak data packs. So we've got player head drops, so that's why I got the Wither skeleton drop. Or that's why you might have seen my miner head on the wall inside my starter base. But we also have anti-enderman grief, mob heads that'll drop, and then we also have graves, just because it's a bit of an inconvenience to not have the graves. I think once I get the world set up a little better, I'll take that data pack off, but for now it's just more convenient to not lose absolutely everything and just have to deal with the dangers that are around where you died. So that's why I have those in. But honestly, because that was so easy, let's just do it again. So I think it'll be smartest to block off a little bit of the initial area where we spawn the Wither in, and let's not even worry about the surrounding. Actually, where are we? So I started at 620, and now I'm back to 6. That took 15 blocks. I guess a little bit more. So 20 blocks to fight the Wither. That's not bad. But let's get the ceiling rebuilt here. And I can just come back later and fix that up. Fill in all the craters. And oh, I actually need the Wither stuff. Alright, here we go. Ready for round 2. Let's go. Actually, yeah, I didn't even need my particle splitter sword. The smite does quite a number. Maybe we'll try this battle. Whoops, missing all my shots. I guess it is also helping that I'm using spectral arrows, since those do, I think, a little bit more than regular arrows, although they're a bit of a new feature to me, so... Oh. Alright, particle splitter time. And that's that. Oh, cool. It's in my hand. We've got 2 nether stars now, and a good bit of cobbled deep slate. Oh, that's not my pickaxe. And we've got a slightly larger tunnel. Honestly, I probably should have left that running, or left the wither running a little farther, just so we have a better tunnel. But that still saved me a good bit of mining, going in this direction at least. So eventually we'll probably have a minecart tunnel here. Or, yeah, probably a minecart tunnel. But now, let's go ahead and head back to the main base and craft up our beacons. Alright, we're back in our main base here. So let's go ahead and grab our nether stars and craft up a couple of beacons. Where's the achievement? Hold up. Wait, no, it's gonna be in Minecraft, I think. Alright, where's the... Oh, it's in Nether. Construct and place a beacon. Okay. I can do that. Not in here. Construct and place a beacon. There's no sky. Alright, let's try one more time on the roof of the Nether. Alright, here we are at the roof of the Nether. And I do have a hole in the ceiling now. I mined underneath a beach to get some sand, to get some TNT to do this. But we also have this rescue hole, just in case. So there's a minecart hopper underneath that bedrock there. But let's go ahead and move on to the beacon. And let's see. Let's actually make it a full beacon, because we can, and it gives us 2 achievements. So I believe it's in base of 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should do it. Oh, we need something to activate it with. Ooh, there we go. Beacon complete. And if we want, well, I'm going to want haste too, just to take this down. But we've got a beacon on the roof of the Nether. Actually, I might just leave this here, because I have a second beacon, and iron is pretty much worthless to me, because the iron farm that I have is set up in these spawn chunks. So I don't have to worry about running out of iron anytime soon. But that's going to do it for today's episode. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you once the wild update comes out. We've got a big adventure planned. Bye!